Hello everyone, back again. Um, so earlier I was yabbering on about many things, but I wanted to sort of explain a little bit more about what the jerk is. Not me, um, but the difference when you're choosing a printer, whether you want this type where the bed moves, or you want what they call an XY core, which is where the bed goes up and down and this moves forwards and back. The head moves forwards and back. So at first it seems like a gimmick, to have the bed move. But there is a real big but. When you're printing big props like a helmet or guns or something like that, say you do want to do commercial one-piece prints because you just want to hit play on the printer and just let it print out. Well, if you're an advanced 3D printer, then please leave comments below or whatever and help people out. But I'm just starting out, so from a newbie's position, this would be been a great help to me. But I chose this printer because obviously it's a bit bargain basement and everything like that. But it does multicolour and we're going to do Pokemons and things like that. So other than the problem, I am also later on going to show you how I fixed the jamming issue with the CFS and Sunlu rolls, which is definitely great. But first of all, the reason why these aren't good for should I say, not these aren't good, there are settings you can change, like you can change the jerk settings which slow it right down when the print gets tall. You can do your advanced multi-layer height, adjusting your multi-layer heights, and changing your speed and your settings. It's a little layer icon at the top of Creality Print or Orca, things like that. So basically, without further ado, this is what you get if you have any jerking, which is the moving of the bed. So when it's very fine, but I'm going to exaggerate it, but when the bed's moving, even though you've got massive amounts of support, and this thing looked like one tree when it was being printed, but ever so fractionally it does that. And to exaggerate that, imagine doing that and you've got something flat trying to print. I don't know if you can hear that. If I shut up a second, then you might be able to hear that in the background. Can you hear that? Well, that's the head actually hitting the print, which is not very pleasant, to say the least. But I can't stop it now. I'll just have to adjust it on the next setting. Some people would say, obviously there's going to be comments down below, oh, you need to tighten up your nozzle, and it's tight. There is a setting there for the height, but it's supposed to be auto sensing. So yeah, maybe there is another setting that I haven't found yet. But that's being a bit awkward. But the point is that when this is moving like that and vibrating, that head is hitting all the time and it's dropping ever so fractionally out. Now this wasn't printed hot, so it's not, it looks like it's been melted and then squished on the end, but it's not too hot or anything like that. Same settings as we always use for printing, but that's if you do it in one piece. Exactly the same settings, dead smooth, right? And this one was printed in sections. Now I forgot who designed this. I was supposed to say, oh, it's designed by someone, I've forgotten who they are, but they're on the standard STL files. If you go on anything where you download a Fallout pistol, then you're probably going to get this file being resold We bought them from Etsy. Bought a package of STLs from Etsy. Although we were told they were all commercial, when you actually check all the licensing, because obviously I have to deep dive and everything, it turns out that all they've done is rob them, and they're not commercial licenses. When you trace them back to the original designer, it's actually only a private license. So, a bit miffed about that, but not going to do it. Not going to do it now anyway, for reasons I mentioned in the last video. But yeah, and in the last video, I was really slating this unit because it just kept jamming. The printer's nice. Like I say, there's a few little issues which I still have to work out with it. But here, as you see, it's not jamming anymore. And what I found, the way to stop it jamming, get that, pull it all the way out, like that, and then wind it back in. I might fast forward this bit. As you can see, it's really tedious, but getting it all running down the middle so it doesn't slide down the sides, and it just stops jamming. Just something simple like that, and that is a little trick you can take to the bank, really, because now you can just leave it. But every so often, pull a load of it out and just stick it all down the middle. So, as simple as that. This one can go back in here. Oh, interesting, right? This brand works really, really well in this CFS unit. Not affiliated. But if you own zero filament, don't mind giving you a plug, you know. If you fancy just dropping us a line, dropping us some filament so that we can do some printing, that'd be great. But that works well in the CFS unit. I don't know what else to say really at the moment, because we've got to wait for that to finish. But another little cherub with the print quality on this. This is set to really, really fine. I'll just have to try and get you a bit closer. Take you off the mount. And I don't know if you can see that over there. There is absolutely no reason that that should be happening inside of the helmet. I don't know what's happened there. It happened while I was out and about. Sorry. But it happened while I was out and about. Take the kids out and stuff like that. We had a big old dinner tonight. But yeah, so what can I say really? But 3D printing as a commercial venture really sucks. There's not a lot else I can say about it. I wouldn't think, oh, I'm going to buy a Creality and then I'm going to be a superstar doing lots of 3D prints and multicolour prints and this, that, the other. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. The best tip that I do is I divide, say like doing a helmet obviously. So we've taken out the top, and it's still going to be supported, but all in the middle there would have been massive supports, which roughly is about 220 odd grams on supports, just literally going up in height up to the crown of the helmet. So by doing it in two stages, you save about 250 grams of filament, which if you were commercial and you've got an XY core printer, print it in one lump, go for it, you know. But you're going to have a ton of waste, This is just from those the layer changes. You know, it's quite a big box, really, of printer poop. So that helmet would, I mean, in here I've probably got £5 or £6 worth of poop. Maybe a bit less, but probably about £5 or £6 worth of poop. And of course the supports as well. But you account for all of that when you're pricing it. And when we priced it, this with all the filament, I think we worked it out that it was going to be about £18 to print with the filament and the electric. So with all the Etsy fees, with all the website fees, the cash handling fees and the card fees, and then you're going to lose 25% tax. Plus, if you're VAT registered, you're going to have VAT on top of it, which would be nice if you could just add that on, but you're not. It's going to come off. You're going to have to price it down. So you're probably looking at a helmet like that, which would tie your printer up for at least a day, maybe a day and a half, you know, on one of these faster printers. And you'll probably end up with selling it for 60, 70 quid. Yeah, if you got the timing right. Although, would you? Because you can buy it on Etsy, you know, cheaper from someone else possibly. Because everyone fights on price rather than keeping stock levels and things like that. So you're probably looking at about £20 profit, you know, on that helmet if you sold it like 60, 70 quid. In which case, in the realms, it's not worth it, is it? It's a day and a half on your printer. Worth it? I don't know. You'd have to, if you were making a living at this, you'd have to have at least, on that, earning £200 a day, because you've got your overheads as well. You know, you're going to need to print at least, how about 15 printers, say? And then you've got the outlay for the printer. They don't last that long. They start wearing out. You've got to maintain them. So I don't want to burst your bubble, but I thought I'd make this video because I don't want anyone else to go through what I've just been through. You know, I did my research and stuff like that, but there wasn't really any videos saying don't do it. They're like trying to flog you, all sorts of things, you know. I just thought, be warned, because chances are you ain't going to make much. You're going to end up being a car boot trader, which is not for me. So yeah, that's that. But on the other hand, 3D printing is so cool. If you're a geek like me, this is a bit of a mess. But this one's a bit of a mess because it's been in and out of the bag and it's been put on the back burner and this, that, the other. But this is a self-driving car, or was self-driving car with GPS navigation and everything like that, with Arduino Nano ESP32. But the chassis, yeah, you can print little bits. This is all done on the Ender 3 Max, by the way, so you have to excuse the quality of it, or lack of. And yeah, so you can make models like that. We're doing other projects as well, because obviously I'm an engineer by trade. Yeah, we like to tinker. This is a tinker workshop. That's what you can do. This is for my son, my youngest son, because he's into all this sort of cosplay stuff, as they are, and a lot of adults are as well. There's a good market for them, but the competition is insane. So it's don't think that you're going to become a superstar, and that's really it. On that somber note. On the other hand, if you do want to buy stuff, there possibly is a market for supplying car boot traders, but you're going to have to pump it out. I mean, really pump it out. You know, one of these you'd get, I don't know, how many did we get on there? About 12, I think, of these infinity cubes. They cost roughly about 30 or 40p with the electric and filament. And if you do them on a large base and you use one of those multi-coloured filaments, or you can get a nice rainbow effect like that, which is absolutely beautiful. And you won't buy that in the shops, you know, from injection mould or anything like that. So making unique things like that, there's possibly quite a good market for it. But for me, I'm an engineer by day, and this is a hobby, you know. This is a hobby for me, and mainly because it allows me to make bespoke components for doing our electronic models and little robotics stuff. Because that's always fun. Hopefully we're going to make a video soon on a power system which I devised, gravitation energy recovery system. If you are a nerd like me, head over to vulcansrealm.com and look at GERS. That's GERS. Stands for Gravitational Energy Recovery System. Head over there, have a look, drop us a comment, a like, and of course support the club, you know, support the fans and everything like that. So drop a like, subscribe, share, tell people about my channel please, and catch you in the next video. Hope this has been helpful.